Remember Dear Diary? I mean, it was a part of your childhood growing up. Some kids start early, some kids start in their teens, but almost everyone has an experience with writing a diary at some point or the other. Your diary either lived under your floorboards or your mattress or had this secret compartment where it stayed. It was hidden from everyone, but it was your best friend. You could write literally anything down in it. It didn't have to make sense, it just had to capture your thought process. And it made you feel better. But what happened now? What happened when you grew up? What happened when you went to college, got a job, grew your family? Where is the diary now? Is it a part of your childhood memories and sitting in your childhood memory box? Or are you still maintaining a diary? Hey guys, welcome to Guilt Free Mind. I am Dr. Shruti Bhattacharya, and today's topic of discussion is how journaling can empower you and boost your self-confidence. If you are new to this channel and you have stumbled upon this video for the first time, if you've liked it so far, please subscribe to the Guilt Free Mind blog. The link will be in the description, and please subscribe to the YouTube channel as well so that YouTube can send you notifications of my new video releases. Now, let's move ahead. If you are someone who suffers from despair, stress, anxiety, or are simply going through a low life phase, journaling or writing in your diary can help you immensely. Your journal is somewhat of a pseudo-therapist. Like, it doesn't talk back to you, but it records everything you're feeling. I mean, what do you do when you go to a counselor? You unburden yourself. You tell your counselor about your problems. Most often, you must have noticed the counselor will not provide you with a solution. They will just keep asking questions. They will ask, why do you feel this way? Why do you think such a thing happened in your life? Why do you think you need to respond in such manner? So in other words, the answers are always in you. It's not being supplied from an external source. It's already there in you. You just have to explore and bring those answers out to the surface. Your diary does the same thing for you. It does not talk back, but as you keep writing it, your brain keeps processing that thing over and over again as long as you're writing. And sometimes, especially when situations are difficult, like if you've been in a fight, you may not be thinking clearly. Rather than responding and taking action immediately, just go and write down everything that happened in your diary. Do not look at your diary for a while. Come back to your diary later and then read through what you wrote. It would be much easier to analyze and process what had happened in a logical and analytical way. This is where diary is important, or journaling. So what is journaling? Journaling is the act of maintaining a record of your personal feelings, your discoveries, your thought processes, anything that comes into your mind. It does not have to necessarily have what is most important or what is most crucial in your life at that point. It can have everything. Literally, what you can write in your journal is pretty much limitless. The best part about journaling in today's world is that you do not have to carry around a diary with you like everywhere you go. If you have a phone, you can use a note-taking app on your phone. Or if you have an iPad, you can use your iPad as your diary. If you like that, that feel of writing, then you can get a pen and a tablet and write there. Or you can opt for the traditional method of writing in an actual diary. This is a very simple and low-cost way to quickly boost your mental health and your confidence. Boosting and keeping that motivation up and keeping the confidence levels up sometimes become difficult because our lives are full of so much of stress on a daily basis. So in this video, I will be discussing how journaling can actually help boost your mental health, boost your emotional health, boost your self-confidence, and make you a better person. So how can journaling help you with, making your mental health better? The main factor that journaling helps you with is release. So a lot of people go for hikes, they go for a run, they go for jogging. They feel that such acts would release their pent up energy, and it would be easier for ideas to flow through their head if they have a clear mind. Now what I do to have my head cleared is paint. So as you can see on this channel, I have several digital painting videos. So that is my hobby, that is my form of meditation. But the problem with these forms of meditation or problem solving habit is that you do not have a place where it is documented what the problem was exactly. Now, if I go back to one of my paintings, I cannot remember what I was thinking at that point when I made the painting. And this is where your diary or journal can help you. Like, when you've written down everything in your journal and you look back at it later, you may realize who was actually at fault, whether it was your fault or it was not. So it is easier to think logically and in an analytical manner when it is all right in front of you, along with the date, the time, the scene, whatever. It does not matter that you have to, it is not necessary that you have to write down all of those, but put down whatever seems important. Or even if it is not important and you want to put it down, just go ahead and put it down. You cannot go wrong with the diary. Now, this was about mental health. When you express your emotions, when everything has a release, you will think better. You will be able to think more logically, more analytically. At first you will have to look back and analyze, but eventually over time, as and when this becomes a part of your habit, you will not have to write down everything to analyze them. Your brain will automatically start to become more logical and more analytical. Now, how can how can journaling help if you are suffering from depression? To be honest, almost 90% of the people are suffering from some or the other form of depression. I'll be frank with you, no one is happy. I mean, if you have a multi-million-dollar business, you want to grow it. That's a stress. Sometimes people have everything in their life, but they are not with the right life partner. That is stress. Depression does not necessarily have to be loss of someone. It can manifest itself in a variety of ways. So, you need to manage it. A lot of us don't have time to go to a therapist or take the time out to even work for our mental health. So this is the quickest and easiest way you can work on yourself without involving anyone else, if you are an introvert, that is. So when you maintain a journal, you track your symptoms. You write down what triggered your depressive episode, what do you think was the cause, how can you avoid it, what should you do next time. Even if you don't implement what you wrote next time, it'll at least be there on that page. Next time when you read through it, you realize, oh, I was supposed to do this and I did not. You'll see your mistake. Eventually, when you're trying to work on yourself, you will implement them. You will start to put them in on your work list. You will start to work on them, and once you start to work on them, you will realize your progress. I mean, your symptoms would be there in your journal. Your progress you will be able to see in that journal, because every time an episode happens or something happens or you have a disagreement, you will be writing it down every time. That's the crucial part. You have to make sure that everything gets into your diary every time. It's not like once a month, it's not like once a day. Whenever something happens, it needs to go into your diary. This is the only way you can track your progress all by yourself without involving anyone's help, basically. So when you start to write down, you will also realize that, oh, I should have worked on this, I should have worked on that. So you can also make a mental to-do list, or you can actually put down the to-do list in your diary as well. You can look back at it the next day. When you wake up, the first thing you look at is your diary. You check the to-do list. Okay, I am supposed to behave this way if something happens. And God forbid, if that thing happens, you try to stick to your plan. Yeah, it won't be easy. You may not be able to stick to it every time, but over time you will realize that you are working. Things are going better and better for you because you have evolved as a person. So you need to figure out what you need to focus on first, what needs to be focused on second, and so on and so forth. So your diary will help you prioritize your issues and find out which regions need the most work and which regions you should start with. As and when you track your symptoms, you will also notice that, okay, now I'm not feeling this way anymore for the past 5 days. Now that's a good streak. So like that, you will start to work on yourself. Your journal is your safe space. The best part is you can give yourself a positive pep talk when you write in your journal. You can tell yourself, this is not how I'm supposed to feel. I am supposed to feel this way. I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be loved. I deserve everything good in my life. So, when you engage in your journaling habits every day, you can also use it as a gratitude journal. Be thankful for what you have, aspire for what you don't have, and also write down the strategies that you are working on to reach your goals. Eventually, you will realize which of the strategies are working for you, which ones are not working so well, and maybe need a change or something. So, you will have a microscopic view that would help you identify what's hidden and not really coming to the surface. You can write down your dreams, you can write down your thoughts, you can write down anything and everything. That's what I'm trying to, say and emphasize more and more, that your diary does not have to be restricted. Your diary or journal does not have to be restricted to what you are feeling in a specific moment. Whenever you feel the need to write, just write. You do not need to ask anyone for permission. You do not have to set out a specific time slot to spend with your diary. But you need to put down your thoughts. When your thoughts have a release, your mind would seem much clearer. You will be able to solve problems quickly. In other words, your analytical side of brain would improve. When people have a good analytical and logical side, chances are they will get into less confrontations, they will feel less depressed, and that everyday stress which is nagging at your head would also reduce. So, now that we have covered depression, how your journaling can help you beat depression, and how journaling can boost mental health in general, let's figure out how it can boost your self-confidence. Now, as I said, everyone has stress. When the stress reduces, thanks to journaling, you'll automatically feel better. You'll automatically have a better self-confidence. If there is something that you are tracking, like a habit you want to change, suppose you want to exercise regularly, there are so many habit trackers if you see online. Like, you can track your eating habits, your sleeping habits, your everything. Now, when you have a diary, or a journal, you basically have everything in one place. You're tracking all of your habits. You can see whether you're making a progress or you're declining, or which time are you at the best of you're keeping the best track of things. You know where you're going wrong. When you know where you're going wrong, it's easier to correct your mistakes. You realize that you are growing and evolving as a person. You are completing your goals, you're accomplishing you're finishing your tasks, you're accomplishing your goals. You are moving ahead on this journey, and it will give you a positive feel about yourself. You will feel happy, you will be satisfied with yourself, and eventually all of these factors would boost your self-confidence. The primary reason people have low self-confidence is because they do not have that faith in themselves. All you have to do is work on restoring that faith in yourself. Your journal is your me time. You have to work on your journal. You have to tell your journal what happened and how you dealt with it. If suppose an unpleasant situation happened and you dealt with it well, when you look back at your journal, you will realize, oh my god, I have grown as a person. I mean, maybe 2 years back, I wouldn't be dealing with this issue in this manner, but now I am. So you have evolved, you have become better, and your journaling is going to be there by your side to help you track your progress. When you realize that you're growing, it automatically boosts your self-esteem, your self-confidence. You realize your own worth. You realize that you are important. You are not someone who can be just disposed of or thrown off like a tissue paper. You matter. This is what journaling helps you understand about yourself. And until you understand this yourself, no matter how much someone tells you that you're worthy of all the happiness in the world, it will not be a part of your head. It will not sit in your head. It will not go to your heart, and you will not believe it. So you need to make yourself believe that you deserve happiness, you deserve better, you are doing good, and you are a person who is confident. So journaling can help you with all of this. Now let's come to how journaling can benefit emotional health. Now, emotional health is something that is a mix of pretty much everything. Like, when there's too much stress, people become angry, they may lash out at small things, they may have an emotional breakdown due to too much of work. With this work from home scenario that's currently going on, like 3 months at work home and then 9 months you work in the office, so these all are making it very difficult to maintain an emotional stability. People are having more meltdowns, people are having more fights, there's more breakup because they cannot meet each other, people have to maintain long distance relationships, and then when COVID hits again, then everything literally gets out of the window. So you have to work on your emotional regulation. You have to understand and analyze things from a logical and analytical point of view, as I have been saying for so long. The more logical you are, the lesser problems you will have. Yeah, granted that the other people should also be more logical for the problems to reduce, but you cannot work on others. You can only work on yourself. So work on yourself, make yourself more logical and more analytical. Over time, as you keep progressing and you keeping track of your progress, you will realize that your brain is becoming more structured and logical. Like everything that you see and analyze is being analyzed in a more logical manner. Now, this is something that you cannot do if you just think about it. You have to put things down on a piece of paper to really look at it analytically and logically. Over time, your brain will get into that habit of taking everything in a logical manner and deciphering everything in an analytical manner. This will not happen in one day, this will not happen in 15 days. This will happen when journaling becomes a part of your regular habit. Now, how can you start journaling? This is another question that I get a lot. To start journaling, all you need is a paper and a pen, or your tablet and a pen of your tablet, or your phone. If you don't have anything, you always have your phone with you. So start journaling on your phone. You do not have to write down everything either. You can either choose to take voice notes if you prefer that. I prefer to write. Writing is like therapy for me. I am a blogger, so probably because of that, but I prefer to write down. So what I do is I have an app on my iPad, a note-taking app, so I will just make a folder in it and I will pick up my pen and start writing whatever I feel, whenever I feel. And I am almost never without my iPad. So you need to start journaling on a thing that would always be there with you. So if you are struggling to get hold of a pen and paper and keep it with you at all times, you can just start on your phone. I mean, it will not be difficult and it'll be much easier if you just have to record voice notes. Like, you don't even have to write. I mean, whatever you're thinking, you just release it into your phone and your phone has a copy of it. And your phone, obviously, everyone's phone is password protected. So no one will be able to even go through what you wrote or what you said. And you can revisit and analyze when you have time and a clear head. Never look back at your writings or at your recordings when you are already feeling stressed, angry, depressed, or any of the emotions that are non-neutral. Heightened states is not when you should access the previous pages of your diary. Heightened state is the state when you should start a new page on your diary. I hope I have cleared benefits of journaling and why you should journal. And there was one question when I released the blog post that I got: what to do if you are in a family and your journal, there is a risk that your journal may be seen by others. Now, if you're living in a family where there is a risk of your journal being exposed and people knowing that you journal would actually poke around, find it and open it and read it, there is something wrong with your family, right? I mean, this should not be there. Families need to have boundaries. It does not matter even if the person is your parent. Boundary is boundary. Everyone's entitled to their own mental space. You cannot allow anyone else in your mental space. And if you are having this kind of a problem, if possible, you need to either separate yourself from the people who might be intrusive to this level, or you can sit down and chat with them and tell them that this is not the way things work. Boundaries need to be maintained. And you should not look into my diary. You must not look into my diary under any circumstance. Even if you are my well-wisher and you love me so much, like whatever is the case, you cannot look into my diary. You have to let me have my mental space. Your diary can contain anything. It can be about people in your own family. When you're unhappy, we write things. We feel things. We say things in our head. Now, someone else cannot get into our head and see what we are thinking, but they can get into your diary. But if you're living in a family where there is such a problem, your family needs counseling. That person who might be so intrusive needs to change their habits or they need to go to a counselor and find out what is wrong with them. Because if people are intrusive to this point, it is an indication that they might be feeling something that they should not. There's something wrong somewhere, maybe they're not realizing it, whatever is the case, but they need help. So I hope I have cleared all your doubts. In case you have any, please write it down in the comment section below. Do not forget to follow the blog and the YouTube channel so that you can get notified about all the new releases. If you want me to make a video about anything specific, please mention it in the comment section as well. I will make it as soon as possible. And I will see you in my next video. And bye bye. Take care and stay safe.